According to a new study, the differences between members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and former members of the church boils down to just 5 things. The moral foundations theory by psychologist Jonathan Haidt proposes that humans base their personal code of ethics and morals by weighing different combinations of the following values: care and harm, fairness and reciprocity, loyalty and in-group, authority and respect, and sanctity and purity. This means that if I conclude that a person or a system's evil, it's because I evaluated that person or system against a combination of these values based on which values mean the most to me. So care, that's like if harm is being done to someone or something. Fairness, are people being treated equally and fairly? Loyalty is like, are you committed to your tribe, group, or family even if they've done something wrong? Authority is determining whether there's proper respect and trust for traditions, leaders, structures. And finally, sanctity is this idea of living in a higher, nobler way, not contaminating the body, being spiritually minded. Now, where Latter-day Saints and former Latter-day Saints or ex-Mormons fall on this spectrum, I find really fascinating. But as a point of comparison, here is an example of how this plays out in a non-religious setting. When surveyed, it was discovered that politically and socially liberal individuals put a lot more weight into the care and fairness values than any other value in their moral framework. So if someone is harmed by a decision or if there's inequality, that weighs out almost anything else in their mind. Conservative individuals tended to have a more even distribution of all of these values when they were making a moral decision. But you can see that authority means a lot to conservatives, and similar to liberals, in-group loyalty weighs less in their mind. Now, the purple bars are former members of the church or ex-Mormons, and they map very similarly to liberal individuals. Except you'll notice some variation on some of these community-building values, such as ex-Mormons tended to score lower than even liberals on in-group loyalty. And finally, these green bars are current Latter-day Saints, and they map similarly to conservatives in a lot of our moral calculus. But you'll notice that we do seem to care more about fairness, we seem to care a little less about authority, and we're off the charts on sanctity and purity. We care a lot more than these other groups about honoring the body, self-discipline, living in a higher, more spiritual way. So here's the full graph. You can pause if you really want to, but clearly when members leave the church, there is a shift in moral values. But what the study doesn't cover is why that shift might happen. It's possible that those who already hold a different moral foundation are more likely to disaffect from the religion over time. Researchers have also studied the potential connection between political ideology driving people away from religious affiliation and shaping their worldview. For me, this highlights how Latter-day Saints don't necessarily map perfectly to a single political profile, and we should be cautious about leaning into the extreme of any of these values. To learn more, you can read this article in the Deseret News that summarizes the study, or dive into the full survey yourself on the B.H. Roberts Foundation website.